Hello everyone, my name is Loko and welcome to another match of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today I'm playing another live game for you and this time around it is going to be a Terran versus Zerg on Frost LE. Now recently we did get promoted to the Master League division. We've been making quite a little bit of progress playing random. Of course I have played far more Zerg than I have been playing random. Just in general, I've played Zerg for many years, and only recently is really when I started focusing on playing Terran and Protoss once again, and it's been such a good time. I've been having an absolute blast, but one of the matchups that I'm struggling with is the Terran versus Zerg I, which is the one that we are currently playing right here, right now as well. And the reason for that is quite straightforward. I just have a very hard time microing. I mean, I'm pretty good at the Zerg micro. I don't want to pat myself on the back in that regard, but I'm pretty good at the Zerg micro, just the control of the army and whatnot. But like, microing bio units like Marines, Marauders, and Medivacs and all that sort of thing, versus, for example, Mutaling Bane is so difficult. It is so difficult to play from the Terran's point of view, in particular because the macro is also pretty tricky to pull off. Now, here's my specialty, okay? Here's what I've been winning games with, and I think it may be a little silly. It may be something that some of you may not, find a legit style, but it's been working out well for me. I've been going for weird timing attacks, so let me try and explain to you what I mean with that. So, generally speaking, the one thing that catches me off guard in the Terran versus the Zerg versus Terran matchup whenever I play Zerg is when the Terran player goes for something really weird, when they go for something strange that I haven't seen before. Now, obviously that, generally speaking, is going to be something you can counter by just simply scouting and whatnot. But I've noticed if you do like a weird build with a bunch of like Hellbats and Marines and all that, and you do something that doesn't, really seem in the ordinary, it works out very nicely in your favor, at least every now and then. So my opponent did just find out that I'm going to be a Terran player. That's okay. Obviously, I have to build out this economy very shortly here as well. But I'm thinking about going for like a Hellbat push, potentially with like a tech up towards Medivacs as well. And obviously Hellbat Medivac is a relatively common, timing to go for. He's actually making a lot of a lot of Zerglings here already. He's got 6 of them. Definitely a little more than you generally speaking see. Ideally I'd like to get a quick poke into the main, but I don't know if it's gonna work this time around. He's just trying to not lose any workers. Anyhow, we'll just go ahead and put down our bunker here on the low ground. I'm gonna start making my units, and very shortly I want to be putting down my second barracks. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and make the second barracks right now, just to make sure that I get some reasonable vision out, right? Like, I need to make sure that I get my upgrades going, and with that, hopefully I will be allowed to, keep on the macro game. So we're gonna move that thing over. Gotta move both of these things over. Now keep in mind, I am completely winging these builds. I have no idea what the standard builds are for neither Terran or Protoss. I'm completely winging the builds, and while it has been working out very well so far, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in Master League, players will start stopping me with relative ease. But for the moment, things have been going pretty damn good. Okay. I'll go ahead and make a couple of Marauders. We'll also get our Stimpact started right now. And I want to go ahead and obviously keep on that production here. Keep on that production of the Hellion. We'll move the natural over towards the natural. Land it over there. And when I can, I'm going to move a couple of these SCVs over too. There we go. You guys get over there. And I'll go ahead and just keep on making more stuff. As soon as I can afford it, I want to be adding on a couple more units here as well. Oh, obviously a supply depot would not be good, or would be helpful. Ooh, I actually thought I nearly lost it there. We'll have to go here for a quick supply drop, as I have made a slight error as far as my supply block timing goes. Obviously Terran is the only race where that is actually allowed, which is pretty good. Pretty helpful. And as soon as I can, I want to be starting up my starport too, as that is one of the most helpful units in the game. Looks like he's actually going to go for a push right now, or he's at the very least going for a scout right now. Which does make this a little more tricky. He's not seen a whole lot yet. But if I can kill that, that would be super good. You know what? I'm actually going to start moving towards the watchtower. I don't really want him to see this, obviously. So I'm just sending my, my Reaper man here for the moment. And I also want to go ahead and put down my starport right here, right now. Alright, we'll go for the second watchtower here, to have a look at what is going on. Want to keep on production. Looks like he had a scout at the watchtower, but he should be blind right now. He should have absolutely no clue about what's going on here. Okay. And this is what I'm talking about. These are the kind of builds that I don't think my opponent is assuming I'm going for, right? Like, this is very strange. Very uncommon. And we'll see what we can do. We see what we can do. And gotta keep in mind, right? My opponent right here is a master level player. Stimpack is done. I think we're gonna be able to deal with all of this just fine. Everything is burning up, and we've been denying his scouts. We've been metagaming the kind of movements that he has been making, right? And without proper counters to the builds that we've got, or to the units that we have, we're gonna be capable of doing a heck of a lot of damage. Once again, we'll position ourselves here on the ramp. I'm adding in more and more units. We'll send a couple of the Hellbats here into the main base, while holding onto the ramp. And I also want to go ahead and start making some more Medivacs, but it looks like we've already picked up the victory. Nice. Alrighty, so let's have a quick look at the replay. Now, I was planning on transitioning out of this, okay? I was planning on getting a third base up. I wanted to go for the double engineering bay upgrades. But I gotta be honest, in a lot of scenarios, and this is just like something I've noticed, in particular in Diamond League, but now also in Master League in the 3rd division, people just die to these sort of pushes, and it's relatively easy to counter them. It's just that you need to have the vision of what the Terran player is going for. Now, I was a little bit worried at the time, because my opponent was gonna go for, you know, the quick overload speed, and he had scouts, he tried getting the minimap, you know, with the watchtowers and all that, but he just simply wasn't aware. So what I want to do is grab the replay point of view very shortly once he starts scouting from the Zerg's perspective, and I want to show you what he could see during the game, because I don't think he realized that there were going to be that many units out on the map. So this replay in total right here is 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And all in all, we actually did a reasonable job scouting. We just managed to sort of like outplay him as far as the scouting department goes. I mean, we managed to trick him into not making a lot of army, and at that point, he just simply ended up falling. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have been playing a lot of macro games as well in ZVT. I seem to mostly lose those for the moment because of what I said earlier with the micro and the control and whatnot. But in about half the games, I just win the game straight up with a rare build or with a weird build like this, and it seems to work out super, super nicely. Now, what you can take away from this sort of thing is that if you manage to make sure that your opponent doesn't scout what you're going for, and you're going for something that is seemingly normal, and what I mean with seemingly normal is you take an expansion, you go for a bunch of production, you make some units, blah, 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 you go for the Reaper opener, and you just, you know, make the Zerg think that everything is fine and dandy, and they go ahead and scout something, and it looks completely normal, and you then randomly push out and murder them. It really makes it super, super, super powerful. So, here's what we will see, okay? I'm gonna show you this game right now from the Zerg's point of view, as he is going to be finishing up all of his scouting, you know, very soon. So, here's the first scout, right? He scouted at the front, he scouted with a Zergling, and he figured out that I had a bunker up. Now, a bunker is a huge indication of some sort of safe play, right? At the same time, he's running around with a bunch of Zerglings. He's taking the Watchtower, Watchtower 1 taken. Watchtower 2 does get held back here for a little while. However, my Reaper wins this for at least a little while longer. But he knows that, you know, he's got the Overlord coming in. So he's going to scout about. And what does he see? Keep in mind, I ran my stuff away, right? I tried running it away as fast as I can. I don't think he actually had vision of it. No, he just got the tail end of that last one. But, you know, I'm trying to, you know, hide whatever I have. Now, I'm also sending the Marines once again into the main base to figure out what's going on. But he really didn't, you know, he really didn't scout a whole lot. Okay? That's the next push. Now, this is where I'm already moving out across the map. This is where I'm moving out across the map. But if you have a look at his vision, he knows very, very little. Now, I'm leading the charge every single time with the Reaper, okay? I had the Reaper check out the Watchtower. I had the Reaper check out the second Watchtower. And I'm trying to move across the map, once again, without him being aware of it. I'm trying to move across the map right here to deny his vision. So look at the vision on the minimap. He has absolutely no idea that I got anything scary. I mean, once again, he saw a little bit of production. He didn't see a whole lot of units. He saw a bunker. He had the watchtowers. And just by simply denying his vision, my army randomly shows up here across the map. And he is completely caught off guard right when he's still producing his Baneling Nest, because he didn't scout anything scary. This is how I've been winning a lot of my games in the Zerg vs Terran matchup. And while it definitely is a little bit more in the cheesy end, I'm going to keep on doing this until, you know, my opponents figure out how to scout properly and how they're going to be, you know, engaging my army a little bit better and how they're going to be transitioning towards higher tech units. Obviously, if my opponent would have been making, you know, just other units than just pure Zerglings, it may have looked a little bit differently. But honestly, even if they have a Roach Warren, if they don't start producing army right when you're moving across the map, and, you know, they have to start moving, or they have to start producing right as you know, already are in that third base, it's pretty much always going to be, you know, game over. So we managed to deny his vision rather nicely, and it allowed us to pick up another victory. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, do make sure you hit that subscribe button. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!